Hey everyone, I'm Kevin and welcome to On Tap, where you can join me every Thursday for just enough, but not too much, of the good stuff. And as always, when you're done, you can go back to watching those Guy Fieri videos I know you love. Wait, but before you do that, like and subscribe to save your seat at the bar and never miss a happy hour. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Guy Fieri.
That's slamming salmon.
Have you ever lost something? I mean, of course you have. But maybe the better question is, are you someone who often loses the same thing? Let's talk about it, okay? So in the community of losers, there are a few different kinds. There's the one-time losers, like, I'm normally very organized, I know where things go, but this time I fudged a little bit. There are the specific losers, like, I only lose my keys, or I only misplace my cell phone. And then there are people like me, the anything valuable losers, who lose anything that costs more than $50 and have to repurchase it, or just live with the sadness of not getting it again. And growing up, you wouldn't know it from looking at me, but I lost my glasses a lot, like every other day. In fact, my mom threatened me with adding those old lady chains on the back of my glasses, as if wearing giant glasses in elementary school wasn't punishment enough. Thankfully, I never had the old lady chains, but I've lost a lot of things over the years, some of which I've never found. In fact, to anybody who was at the comic shop on 95th and Cicero on June 12, 1993, and you found a $10 bill, please return it to me. Look, it's so upsetting to lose stuff, isn't it? If you can't find it right away, you start to pace, right? It's the inevitable thing. You start to pace, you start looking back at the same place again and again, somehow thinking that it's just gonna magically appear. And then what does someone say to you, right? What do they say? They say, just retrace your steps. Okay. This advice is helpful about half of the time. And when that doesn't work, you get the next one, which is, well, where did you have it last? Well, if I knew where I had it last, I wouldn't be looking for it. The last time I had my keys was when I locked my car, but for some reason the keys aren't on the key hook, which means I'm not putting things back where I should. And that's the pain point, right? Because one of the biggest reasons we lose stuff is because we haven't decided where it belongs in our lives. And all that being true, I'm still left with what to do when I lose stuff. So here's what I've found. I need to zoom out. I need like a bigger view if I'm gonna make sense of what I'm losing. So let me explain. I need a bigger view because most of the time, I'm like a mouse in a lab maze, right? Like Pinky in the Brain, right? I'm going over the same path again and again. If you've ever seen those videos of mice running around in the mazes, you're watching the mouse take all the wrong turns. And you, because you're above the whole thing, can see the block of cheese at the end, but they can't. Which is my super odd, abrupt transition into why I pray. I pray to God not because he's a genie. God, I lost my keys. Please show me. And then ding, 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 here are the keys. No. But before I can find the keys, I need to think differently, right? Like I'm stuck on Street View and I need Google Earth, like to zoom way out and get a little bit of perspective because I'm the mouse running around the maze and God's sitting above it going, the cheese is right over there. And no matter what, I mean, if my perspective doesn't shift, then I'm gonna keep repeating the same methods over and over again, expecting different results, right? Like I'm gonna keep losing my keys in the same way. And if I pray and go, God, help me find my keys, and somehow God's able to just make the keys appear, then I'm not gonna learn anything. And what do they call it, right? When you do the same thing over and over, expecting different results, they call that insanity. Have you ever gone crazy over that lost thing that you've lost again and again and again? And how many times when you were going nuts over it and when you were beating yourself up and going, why do I lose this thing? How many times did you also pray and ask God for help? Maybe you're not even into prayer, but if you are, do you do it when you lose things? So here's the deal. Here's what I've been baking on. And this is my 12 ounce. I don't really need answers. I need to see things differently. It's like Miyagi, right? First the vision, then the answers. You want to knock out Cobra Kai, you got to wax on, wax off first, right?
Wax on, wax off.
Because if I just get the answer to what's lost, what's broken, what's confusing in my life, but I don't have a different vision, I'm just going to repeat the same mistake over and over again, keep falling in that same hole. I'll just keep losing the keys. And I need to see things differently in my life for so many reasons. And wow, does that apply to the rest of us in our lives in a lot of big ways? We do need to see things differently. And how different would our daily lives be if instead of just trying to get the answers and jump to conclusions. We actually tried to see it differently, to think differently. And look, I know I'm way more interested in getting everything answered and found than I am with some kind of process or journey to think differently. Because when I'm stressed out and I'm looking for what I've lost, I don't want to think about, well, how would this not have happened? How can this not happen next time? No. Look, I wonder if that's what we need a bit more in our lives. To slow down just enough to think, to ask for perspective so that we don't fall in the same hole the next time. We don't lose the keys again. A few weeks ago, I sat down with a buddy of mine, Richie, and he's got a great perspective on this whole lost, found thing. And it's worth going back to take a listen, and we'll throw that link up there for you. And next week, I'm super excited because we've got Pastor Tim Harlow coming to On Tap, and I'm excited for this one because he's always got something interesting to say. So I don't even know what he's going to say, but he's going to say something super interesting, and I hope you can make some time to check it out. So as always, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.